What's going on, guys?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's thinking.
Says we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
We're live.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still thinking on my end.
Alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic.
Testing.
You know that.
What's going on, guys? We are here with another. It's still saying it's not live.
It is.
But
You
it
are live.
is.
It's still
You're
saying go.
alive,
It's still saying go
alert,
live.
awake, enthusiastic. You're alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. You're alive, alert, awake. You're awake, alert, alive. You're alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. It's a done deal, man.
like the
You are
chicken
on.
dance.
That's perfect. What the hell is going on?
Good night, everybody.
Hale slow.
Hail,
Still
hello,
over
all
here.
you beautiful
Get in the
people.
corner. It's like go live. We're having trouble connecting. Like, all right.
And that's our
Everyone-
show. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. Everyone over here is saying we're live, so let's go live.
We've
So
had that problem connecting too, right? But we're
Yeah.
gonna let it all air out tonight. We're gonna let them know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's yeah.
Or are we?
So welcome to another episode of the Bad Boys of Reselling. We have our amazing special guests. We're gonna get to them in a minute, but we have our always super special guest, Oscar El CuBaNaSo. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. What's up, everybody? I'm Oscar El CuBaNaSo. I'm happy to be here with everybody on this beautiful Saturday night. I'm especially happy to have I'm the special guest, so our extra special guest with the Hales on with us tonight. And I know it's going to be a fantastic show. We have a lot of questions. You guys might have got kind of the idea where we're going with it based on the title. But yeah, back to you, Jordan.
All right, you might see a new face here tonight. This little wonderfully tan fella over here. He is a new bad boy of reselling.
In training.
In training, dude.
Mr. George. Say hello to everybody. Tell them about
Hi,
your
everyone. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm taking a risk with George, and I'm in training to be a bad boy of reselling. So wish me luck. I've always been a good boy. I was a deacon boy when I was little, so this is going to be a big change for me. And no, Yorgi is not here tonight. He's going to take my place when I ultimately fail at becoming a bad boy.
He's so bad he's got a gun behind him.
I can't see that.
YouTube doesn't like that word.
Oops. I mean, he's got a fun behind
I've
him.
got 2 guns now.
Hey,
Can I have some tickets to the show?
Sold out.
sold out. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Directly below him is Mr. Suburban Beard. Say what's up to everybody.
I'm Suburban Beard without Manny.
Without Manny. Yeah,
I'm-
where's Manny? Where's Manny?
I'm alone in my garage. He left me for a woman. And I think I can see him. If you can spot him, let me know. But I'm still here alone.
Awkward.
Please don't make this awkward for
don't
us.
make this
Suburban.
awkward for us. It was bring your daughter to work day at what the Hales, and
Manny is a child.
this is awkward for us all right now.
Can I get a fist pump?
Did you just hear that? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful sound.
Oh, Manny sold another one. All right. Yeah, Manny, I'll tell you what, here's your commission. You just keep that right there. He's selling them left and right. You keep your commission there, Manny. Never had it so good. There we go.
Uh-oh.
Is it because Manny has always been the brains?
Where did the beard go?
I just want
Is that him crying?
Yeah, he's crying.
I don't know what.
All right, let's bounce up to Alex.
Oh, did you hear that?
I just heard it again.
Oh, he just sold another one. Nice job, Manny. There you go, buddy.
Ooh, and he gets actually paid. Like, that's
killing
awesome,
it.
Manny. I'm so happy for him.
I'll double it. I'll
That's
double
his
it for you.
commish.
And your daughter, you're so cute. Child labor laws. I'm sorry, but keep selling. I'll give it to
That's
Dad.
his little helper.
I'm burning my sweater.
That's Minetta.
Oh,
Wow, the viewers are really
Manny's on fire.
yeah. All right, Manny is getting commission again. Nice job, buddy. Woo!
What's he selling? What's selling? Merch?
Merch.
Wow.
He's selling unemployment shirt.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. I don't think he's ever
All
got
right, Alex, you're up to bat, brother. What's
So
going
it's my
on
turn.
tonight?
Not much, man. Over here still in Massachusetts. I'm going back home tomorrow. I'm excited to jump on that plane and go to some warmer weather. See Oscar again. I have separation anxiety with him. And other than that, just hanging out, man. Excited to see Jeremy and George on here, and George, aka taking a risk, getting ready to take a risk and be a part of the Bad Boys of Reselling, if and only if he can pass the tests that are about to hit him in the face. And I do want to say what's up to the people, because I was typing it, but then I saw people popping in again. So instead of continuing to type, I'm just going to say what's up to Mick Draper, Danny May, Pat Dees is in the building, Drew Profit Monsters, what is up? Conky the Dummy, Marie is here. So many people. Everybody's here. CJ is in the house. What's up, Junkman? All you beautiful people that are crazy enough to waste your Saturdays on us, we appreciate you. And that's all I got to say. Thank you for joining us.
And then we have our super special guest. What the Hales is in the house?
Woo! Happy Saturday, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
So you always say happy fun day on Sunday. What would it be for Saturday?
Just happy Saturday.
Happy fat Sat Day. Something
Some
like
people say Catter Day.
Catter Day. I would say
Saturday's for the
Saturday.
cats.
Fat
How about Saturday?
buffet. Oh,
We took my brother and his family to Amish country, and we hit up an Amish buffet. All you can
Best
eat.
time ever.
Yorgie, what's
I
the
have
Amish
to
country?
remove myself from this chat.
I
at
think
any
everyone
moment
had
in time
6 plates
to go to my
So
office.
Went back to the buffet 6 times.
Happy Saturday.
Everyone wants you to sing a song about your Saturday there, Jeremy.
We would go fatter day, fatter day, fatter day, fatter day. Like that. That's how it would go.
Alex, what are you doing in Mass? I can never pronounce it.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
I'm over here driving a car. Getting a hot dog,
Coffee.
and visiting the motherland over here. Plymouth Rock.
Very nice.
Can we just tell everybody real quick, Alex? I hate to revel in your misery, but why don't you tell everybody what you packed to go to Massachusetts for a week in October, November?
Shorts and t-shirts, and it's currently like 50 degrees, and it's kind of cold, but it's okay. I lived. I'm ashy. Have you ever seen a light-skinned dude turn ashy? Like, I get ashy, dude.
I get ashy too. It's so bad that my ashiness gets ashy.
It's like I was walking and I'm like, yo, I'm leaving snow behind me. And it's ashiness.
How cold is it up there?
That means
Right now it's probably like 50 something. I don't know. I haven't checked, but it feels the same. So like around 50, 40
How is
something.
it? How is it warmer there than it is here?
Right, it's 35 here.
Then it's probably 35, man. I like the cold though, so it's not a big deal.
37 right now. Here.
Feels like
Where?
temperature.
Here. Woo!
Oh no, it dropped. The feel like temperature is 32 now.
Yeah, it's not warm here at all.
75 degrees.
Glorious
dropped
Ohio.
down to 30.
It's really nice down here in Miami right now.
I'm so jelly.
Yeah, he sent me that screenshot the other day. I sent it to him. My truck said ice may be possible, and he was like, "Yeah, it's like 75 right now." I was like, "Stop it."
My one of my good friends lives in Tampa, Florida, and she's always sending me screenshots of the weather, bragging.
That's so mean. You guys deserve it.
Well, he's gonna make this awkward all night.
Are you gonna make this awkward the whole time, Suburban Beard?
I'm gonna steal Manny back.
You're gonna win him back.
I'm gonna steal him back.
Okay.
Is he stealing?
Do you even know where we live?
Oh,
Where do you?
That's
Where do you live?
somebody just bought another fun employed hoodie. Nice job, Manny. There's your commission.
Is it signed?
Where do you live?
Where do you live? Can I just come pick it up at your house?
Listen, I don't have many skills, but the skills I do have, you will never find Manny.
We have
Manny, come back. Oh, I got a song. Manny, come back. Ain't no mannequin like you. There was something in everything about you. Manny, come back.
I'm feeling it.
Okie.
Don't.
Actually, Alex,
Holy coyote, you guys are wild.
have you seen any witches? Did you go to Salem?
Dude, let me tell you something, man. There's witches out here. And you know how I know?
You didn't go to Salem.
Because I pointed at least one out of every 3 women that I passed by, and I pointed at her in her face, and I said, "Are you a witch?" And they denied it. And that's just proof that they're witches, man.
Yep.
You put them under water, and if they sunk, they were a witch as well. Proof that they were witches.
Yeah.
Well, don't they bubble up?
No, wasn't it the opposite? Wasn't it if they float, they're witches?
Oh yeah.
And if they drown, then
And if they drowned, they were not witches.
That was probably the conversation they had as they did it too. Like they're doing it, and they're like, "Is it when they float or when they sink?" I don't know. Just throw them in the water.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
Wait, time out. Where do we buy what fun employed hoodies?
You got the link?
You gotta buy it from Manny.
Yeah.
I think Suburban Beard set it up, so let's ask him. Where do we
Manny.
buy unemployed hoodies and stuff from?
Manny, where does everybody buy fun employed hoodies?
I canceled all the listings. You can't buy them anymore.
Give me high five or low
Somebody
five.
just bought another one. Somebody got the listing. There we go. Nice job, Manny. Man, we should have got you beforehand.
What a great addition
Yeah,
he's been.
my
Is
goodness.
it the go to Hales eBay store?
No.
No.
You can find fun employed hoodies right on the What the Hales YouTube channel.
Go to any video on the What the Hales channel, and it's called a YouTube shelf, and it says browse What the Hales merchandise.
There you go. Anyone that wants a What the Hales
Merch.
hoodie, t-shirt.
Tank tops, t-shirts, hoodies. There's even onesies for your baby.
Oh, nice.
Oh, what the Hales? I might have to buy one.
You already did.
Oh, I did?
No, the
Yeah,
hoodie.
you got hoodie 2.0, but it wasn't the fun employed.
No, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, well, funny story on that. I was like, I texted Justin the other night. I was like, yo, so where's this hoodie at? He was like, dude, I totally thought I was going to bring that with me to Ohio when I came. Like, well, I was really hoping to wear it on the show tonight. Even though I paid for it 2 weeks ago. What's up?
Hey, George, Lee wants to know about one-way streets. Can you fill us in?
Funny story.
Do you care to share?
I got a story for you.
So I went to my very first auction today without Jeremy.
You left me again? Again, you left me.
He had an appointment at 8 in the morning. The auction started at 9 in the morning, but thankfully my brother George was with me and his family. And so then afterwards, Conky the dummy, Lee and his wife were at the auction as well. We all went out to eat lunch, and it was this place that I had driven by past in Worcester that had chicken and waffles. There was chicken and waffle signs, and I was like, "Oh, I'd like to try that." So I had them follow me. They followed me to this chicken and waffle joint, and I turned on a one-way street, and they followed me, and we almost like
into oncoming traffic. In my car.
So that's what happened. Whoopsies.
If only Manny would have been there.
It was right on the corner, so it wasn't too bad. I turned on one way for like a second and then was able to turn into the driveway. And then Lee comes out of his car. He's like, "Remind me to never follow you ever again."
I think he said that when he was
We're still alive
on the auction run.
Yeah, he did say that.
You're hard to follow.
You're hard to follow with the trailer.
And I remember telling him, this was just a couple days ago. I was like, you don't even know what it's like to follow when George is driving. Now he does.
So if you guys like Southern comfort food, like chicken and waffles and like chicken and biscuits, this place is pretty good. Right,
I don't
George?
know if I want to go if I have to go down one-way streets the wrong way.
Where'd you go? The parlor?
It was called
Biscuit Uprising.
Yeah, it just opened, I think, called Biscuit
on
Uprising.
Hamburger Hill in Worcester.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it has a big sign that says "Enter driving backwards."
You just have to turn on the in the driveway that says drive-through.
Isn't that crazy though? It's not illegal to drive backwards on a one-way.
That is crazy.
But you can't drive
Does
forward.
that apply in every state?
I don't know. I just kind of made that up, sort of. I don't know. It just makes sense, you know.
Debbie Vaughn said, "Don't feel bad, George. We've all driven the wrong direction." Let us know in the chat if you've ever gone down a one-way street. Whoever has the courage to admit that they've gone down a one-way street by accident.
I constantly enter through the exit doorway at Walmart, so it's not kind of similar.
Yeah.
So out of Jeremy and George, who's the better driver?
I'm more.
Are we? What kind of driving are we talking about? Because if you're talking about driving somebody crazy, oh my goodness, this woman can drive. This woman can drive. Trophy, boom, here you go. Is that what they were talking about?
No.
Oh,
that's not what they were talking about.
Oh. In all the good ways, baby. All the good ways.
So,
probably him. He's more of an aggressive driver than I am. I think when someone's in my car, my motherly instinct hops in. So I drive all motherly like with like 10 and 2 on the steering wheel. But when I'm by myself, I have my music blasting and I'm doing like 90 on the freeway. And again, it's only when I'm by myself. But when there's other people in the car, I'm more of a cautious driver because I've got lives at risk.
Do you change lanes without signaling?
Sometimes.
Don't answer that. I'm sorry.
You're incriminating.
If I'm the only one on the freeway.
Actually, the 10 and 2 is wrong now.
Myra is asking George, who is the best driver in the family?
Look, she's even pointing at me. Thank you. I appreciate that.
He's gonna say himself.
Appreciate your honesty.
Yeah, it's 9 and 3 is where you're supposed to keep your hands. It's how they train new drivers.
That's not
I
how
just do the midnight.
like this. 12.
I do the midnight all day, every day.
Drive like this now, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Association.
Never heard of it.
I'm driving a tractor.
That's how I drive.
I drive like this sometimes.
I do one of these. Yeah.
I drive like this with one arm on the headrest over here, like
Slackers?
this.
How I drive.
You know, like what I'm saying.
You gotta stay selling, Beard. You gotta stay selling.
I do. I got cross posting.
Do you drive with your knee and you're like on both phones?
Yeah. Manny used
I
to
see
drive
people
for
drive
me.
with their feet.
Manny.
What's he
Manny
driving
used
a
to respond to the other
1940
No,
phone.
trailer?
Nate, no, he's driving a Volvo.
Yeah, same thing. But that's fine. The Volvo's a tank. It'll take anything out. I don't worry about it.
Yeah. Well, it took Manny straight to the Hales.
Yeah. No, a female took Manny from me. That's what happens when ladies get involved.
Yeah.
Crazy things happen when ladies get involved.
Man, and Manny left you.
And while driving, hey, you looking at my girl?
You looking at my girl? That's why I drive like this. I got one arm on the headrest so I can make sure everything's. I look over to the side. Everything all right? All right. I keep going.
That's
Manny
creepy.
moved in
That's
real
creepier than
fast.
Manny.
The truth is, I haven't told nobody. I never sold her. She's in my closet as we speak, waiting for me to get home.
Well, I guess it's out the closet now, isn't it?
What's up? Because she shed. I like that name. That's just genius. Because she shed.
Is the best. Suburban Beard is naked without his Manny.
Did Manny just turn his head?
Well, George said we were going pantless, so I joined him. I don't know. I mean, I'll stand up if people really.
Let's go. Let's go.
We really wish you wouldn't.
If we're telling secrets.
I believe it. I know this guy. I believe it. But hey, look, I have another question, if I may.
Do it.
Yeah. Does anybody have any extremely awkward questions for George?
I'm Jordan now.
This is not awkward. This is very straightforward, and I'm gonna get personal. George, when and where did you two first kiss?
Whoa!
Yeah. No, that's a sensitive topic.
Yeah.
So we're getting into the secrets already, huh?
We're gonna get into them.
Throw it out there.
Are you gonna tell them about date one?
First kiss, huh?
Are you gonna tell them about date one?
What are you thinking? I never kiss on the first date ever.
But somebody was trying to get a kiss on the first date.
Baby.
Her. So she couldn't keep her eyes off of these lips. You see them? Look at them. Couldn't keep her eyes off of these lips. Date one. I'm like, whoa. Hold it back.
She told me the real story. It's because you guys had peppered salmon and there was something stuck in your teeth.
Is it still in there right now?
Yeah, now it's broccoli and pepper.
Maybe I ain't ever ate broccoli in my entire life.
Well, I'm not sure how it got in there.
If it's green, it's probably a booger. Because there ain't nothing else green going in there.
So on our live feeds on Sundays, a lot of our subscribers will try and get us to kiss. And I'll tell them, like, even if you send a $500 super chat, I still won't do it. But if you guys want to witness it tonight,
you
guys want to witness it on this live?
Is it gonna happen?
Look at everyone's face.
Jordan.
Look at everyone's face.
Type
I don't care.
Comments if you want to see me get a kiss for the very
first time live.
Oh my goodness. Holy Jeebus, this might just be happening.
All I see is nothing in the chat, like crickets.
My
All I see is
life just
cricket
said one.
emojis.
Noreen
Cricket
said,
emojis.
"Fuck her up." My flipping life 111. Cock the dummy 1. Mary Brown 1. Baby. You've been staring at these lips from date number 1.
Please don't make it awkward.
Ready?
Suburban Beard's already been making this awkward.
Ready? I've been practicing with my I'll bite into my apple and so I've been practicing. I think I'm ready.
Okay. I think I've changed my mind. Did you see what he just
Baby!
did to the pretend apple?
That's probably what's in my teeth, the apple. Is it still in there?
Is it a Granny Smith because you're a vanilla grandpa?
Hashtag Granny
Smith.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it is a Granny Smith. Hashtag Granny Smith.
I don't know why, but I picture it like when they kiss. The song in the background is Katy Perry. I kissed a girl and I liked it. I don't know why. It's just that's what I hear.
I kissed my George. And
If you guys see the other way, like YouTube malfunctions just before they kiss and all lives go down. Like YouTube stops functioning, like so it never happens.
The lights cut.
Right, everything cuts out.
Oh, that gives me an idea.
Yeah, I was having the same idea right here.
Oh,
I was this close to telling mom.
That's so wrong.
You almost put mom on me.
Oh man, that would be bad. Do not let Mama George
Mama
know.
George.
Don't let Mama George know.
You know,
She used to like me. She'll hate me after that.
it's funny because like kissing is something normal for like Cubans, kind of like how Italians, they kiss each other, the family kisses, everybody kisses and all that on the cheek.
Yeah.
So like, you know, like I remember when I moved to Tennessee, you know, every girl that I met, you know, it wasn't like let me shake their hand. I would literally lean in to give them a kiss on the cheek, and like every girl would always be like, hey, what you doing? I'm like, oh, my bad. I didn't know y'all didn't know. that's just how we do it, you know. Like,
We do, yeah. In
excuse
the
me.
Middle Eastern culture, we do the same thing where we give everyone kisses on both cheeks.
You do.
So you kissed everybody but Jeremy?
Men kiss more men.
Look, I'm
than they
darker
kiss
than
women,
you.
though.
As for
I
Middle
tried that at Burger King. The guy punched me.
You ever see the movie Borat?
You look very nice.
nice.
Very
Yes,
nice.
miss.
He tries to kiss the guy on the cheek, and he thought he was kissing him on the lips.
All right, so Jeremy, what was your worst date with George?
Ooh, the worst date. Do you remember when we went to the concert? Okay, well, first of all, we were not a serious couple at this point in time, but I think I was wooing her and she was wooing me, and I invited her to go. I invited her to go to the Christian concert in Cleveland, and she had already told me that she had other plans. Now, when she told me she had other plans, I know that was code for it. She had another date with another man. Okay. Now we
literally just met.
So we just met, and I understood. I got it. We weren't exclusive or anything along those lines. And she's like, I have plans with friends. This is what she would always say. I have plans with friends. When a woman says that to you, number one, the plans with friends are another boyfriend. That's when she has plans with. She had a date. Okay?
I was single.
So
it wasn't
George,
a boyfriend.
George is, we could say that the Arabic women are aggressive. Is that the appropriate word? They are. George, help me out. Arabic women are aggressive is probably the wrong word, but not.
No, it's actually very accurate.
Okay, so they're very aggressive. So she actually called me and she's like, I canceled plans with my friends. I'm going with you. I'm like, whoa, okay. And so we went to the concert.
No, what happened was we had made plans to go to church on Sunday. So I only had time for church and lunch with him. And then I had plans later on in the evening. But then I ended up.
She had a date with somebody else. Do not let this plans with friends thing throw you off, but keep going.
And then I ended up canceling plans with this other person and surprised him and went to the concert with him.
So by surprise, she called me and said, we're going on a date. And which I was thrilled. Did we go to the beach after? We went
before.
Okay. So George,
because we had time to kill.
Okay. George, I was thrilled. I was like, all right. And one of the things we kind of set expectations if we were dating, you know, what would have to happen. So one of the things that I said to her is listen, if I'm going to see anybody, they have to go to church with me. And she agreed to that. We agreed to a number of different things. So we went to church, we had time to kill. We were going up, and she loves the beach, loves water, loves sunsets, the whole deal. So she has this great idea. Let's head up to the actual beach. But we weren't,
because the concert was near one of my favorite beaches here in Ohio.
So this isn't the worst date because we've never really had a bad date, but this was a bad
moment.
Thing that
it was
happened.
A moment, a bad moment that happened.
So we weren't prepped for this at all. And yet we're new in a relationship. You know, she's got her best foot forward. I'm trying to put my best foot forward, and she's trying to woo me, and I'm trying to woo her, even though I know she's got other dates and all lined up. And I'm just like, all right, let's go. So we don't have sandals or anything, nothing, and we only are ready to go to the concert. So we step with our bare feet out on the sand. and it is blazing hot, like burning hot. And what did you do so that you could walk on it? I forget.
I
We
had
make just something?
I had flip flops on, and the sand was going in the flip flops, just burning my
Burning your
feet.
feet.
So he ends up.
So I had nothing.
You didn't want to get sand in your shoes, so you took your shoes off.
So
but
I
kept your
put my
socks on.
socks on and walked in my socks on the burning hot sand to the water, and not letting her know that my feet were on fire, because you have to put your best foot forward.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
We go into the water. Now, mind you, my socks are wet in the water. And then we have to go back on the burning hot sand. We go back. Did I carry you then? I carried you later that night, right?
Later that night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we walk back. My feet are on fire.
And I had no
Fire.
idea.
And I'm not about to tell her. I'm manning up, right? I already know she had a date with somebody else. I mean, this has got to be good foot forward. I almost lost her on date number 2, and my feet are on fire. They hurt so bad. We go to the concert, and then after the concert, she wants to see a sunset. So we go out to a pier, and this is like half a mile away from where we parked. She does not want to walk back to the car. Now, mind you, here's what happened when I actually walked. She doesn't know this. The sand burned through, literally burned through the bottom of my socks.
He had holes in his socks.
It burned, and my entire feet were blistered from burns.
You had holes in your socks prior.
What's that?
You had holes in your socks prior. I've
No,
seen your
these are brand new. I promise.
I've seen all your clothes.
Like my underwear. This isn't like my underwear. These were brand new socks because I was going to see her, so I wanted to impress her. And so the bottoms of my socks are literally burned through, and we're at the pier. I have monster blisters on my soles, and we're at the pier, and she's like, I don't remember, your back hurt or something. She did not want to walk back to the car, and we're talking like half a mile.
We ended up doing more activities that day, and I didn't wear the proper shoes, so then I ended up getting blisters on my feet.
She had blisters because she didn't have the right feet. Neither of us had
I didn't have the right shoes.
You know what I did? I said, get on my back, baby. I'm going to carry you back. I literally carried this Egyptian woman like with blistered soles. My feet were so bad and so blistered, and I had her on my back half a mile uphill both ways, mind you, right?
Yeah.
Right. And back to the car because her feet had blisters, and she did not know that how bad my feet were, or that my socks were literally burned through and burned all my skin on the bottoms of my feet.
But he's still alive. But did you die?
Almost a little bit inside, because I knew you had a date planned with another.
That was like the worst moment in a date.
But it was a moment for you where you were like, that's my man.
Yeah,
right?
It was a moment for me.
So she didn't know all of this. I didn't tell her any of this until way later. And
I think like the next day you told me.
See, that's way later. That's 24 hours. I do remember showing you the socks at one point. I'm like, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this. And you're like, why didn't you tell me? Yeah, that was a rough one. But I did steal her from another man date, and she spent the entire day with me. I just had to burn my soul for it. I mean, my soles of my feet to get a date with her.
So what was your first impression of Jeremy?
My first impression?
Yeah.
I was like, wow, he's taller than I expected. And I'm 5'2" and he's 6'2", and I think I wore like 3-inch heels. So that put me at like 5'5". And I was like, wow, he's really tall. And I'm a hugger. So when we went to go hug, he had to bend down, like bend over just to hug me. But yeah,
he let me hug you when we first met.
He was much taller than I thought.
So I was allowed to hug her when we met in person. Was it a side hug? I don't remember.
Jeremy, did you try to sneak a kiss?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I've never kissed on the first date ever. That's like my cardinal rule.
Or the second, or the third,
Yeah.
or the fourth. And my rule is she can't kiss me until we're married. So she's not getting any kisses.
But yeah, I was gonna say, and the 5th, and the 6th, and the 7th.
All right. So now,
your first impression of me. What did you tell all your friends? You remember what you were telling all your friends? Now she remembers.
So he I accidentally told my friends that he grew up Amish. But in reality, he lived in Amish country for like 8 or 9 years.
And so she's telling everybody who I've never met that I'm Amish. I'm former Amish. I grew up Amish, the whole deal. Yeah, that was awkward. Not as awkward as Suburban Beard trying to, make it awkward tonight with Manny, but
I want to rewind a little bit because I heard the marriage word come out, right? So if there was, would you hire the bad boys of reselling to be the wedding singers at your wedding?
Is that even a question? Of course.
I'm an ordained minister.
Why would they need people to sing when Jeremy does everything?
That's the fist pump. Your
I'll
brother,
play the harmonica.
that was there
Does
you
it
go.
all.
Bam.
I play the Guido. I play the Guido and I sing soprano.
Yeah. It wouldn't be what the Hales, it would be what the Yoders.
What the Yoder? I can't do that.
We almost ate at Mrs. Yoder's today, but we ended up going to Dirt Dutchman instead.
I was making fun of the name.
Oh, here we go. Danny says, "What the Hales? When was the first time you said I love you, and who said it first?"
Ooh.
You set me up.
So you want me to tell them that story? I'll tell them that story. Well, you tell them.
We can do it
tell
together.
You tell them the first part of how you got set up, because you were the one that said you should give me an evaluation.
Okay. So he thought one of his favorite movies is Princess Bride. And I've never watched that movie ever before. And it took him like 6 attempts to finally get me to watch the movie from beginning to end.
Which she still has not done to this day.
Yes,
she watches 5 minutes, falls asleep.
No,
5 minutes, falls
after
asleep.
6 attempts, I finally watched it from beginning to end.
Okay, let's test her right here.
So
okay? Wait. I want to test. I want to make sure you actually have watched it. Stop that rhyming. I mean it.
I don't know any one-liners.
That movie is the ultimate one-liners. She hasn't watched it.
Have you guys watched the movie Princess Bride?
Yes.
That's with
many times.
You had asked me that last time. I've seen it. That's with Carrie Ewells, right?
I don't know their names, but
I don't know their names either. Alex.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was entertained by the chat.
Bride, have you seen that movie?
I have not seen Princess Bride. I've seen Scarface.
Scarface.
Uh,
I mean,
I haven't seen Princess Bride.
my wife might have slipped it into a viewing night, but I don't remember.
Anyways, 30 days after meeting him, he thought it would be funny to give me a 30-day evaluation.
But hold a second. She's the one that actually introduced the concept. And so I ran with it, and I actually gave her a 30-day evaluation of our relationship. You still have it, don't you?
Yeah, I've saved it.
Okay. So she joked about the concept, and then I ran with it, and it was.
And the very last question, there was like maybe 30 questions that was part of this eval, and the very last question was from the movie Princess Bride. What does "as you wish" mean? And if you've seen the movie, it means I love you. So when I said it means I love you, he goes, "Oh, I love you too."
That was quick, right? Just like right away.
You set me up for that.
Babe, you set yourself up because you thought it was funny to get an evaluation.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I ran with it because it
but
was
you set me up
hilarious.
with that question.
You were the one that said I love you. I was just responding. I didn't want to make it awkward. I mean, what was I going to do? Just look at you? You're nice. You said I love you. I mean, what was I supposed to say? I like you.
You look very nice.
We're friends tonight.
Sweet Finds wants to know, Jeremy and George, when y'all go camping, do you sleep in the same sleepy bag or?
So we've made a video kind of like crib style of the camper. And we explain that in that video. So make sure you go watch that video.
So the camper is rather large. That's probably the best way to say it. And there are,
She said,
1, 2, 3, 4 sleeping arrangements in the camper without adding any additionals. And then we keep a actual air mattress in there as well. So, but there is a whole cribs style video on that. Yep, we do explain that in the video.
We do explain that in the video. So you guys got to do your homework on that question.
So, George, what is the most embarrassing thing you have ever done around Jeremy?
Oh gosh, that's a hard question to answer because I don't get embarrassed easily. The most embarrassing thing I've ever done around you
that I can share.
Drove the wrong way in a one-way street.
that I won't get in trouble for tonight. Let me look.
Can you think of anything?
I have to look at the mega list. The one thing that comes to, I pulled the old lady car. I fell in the shower. Took the rod and curtain down with me. Don't worry, it's okay.
Oh, I got one.
What is it?
Okay. It's not a question. It's a dare.
But
I have something as far as where you embarrassed me, but it's not the embarrassed thing that you did.
He does, and same thing with him. He doesn't embarrass easily.
Oh yes, I do. She can put me in some awkward situations very, very quickly.
Manny.
Well, that you have admitted you haven't admitted if you were embarrassed, except for this one time.
Name one.
When was the time I was embarrassed?
Like
band camp.
Oh yeah, that's not shareable.
Yeah, it's not shareable
unless somebody sends $500 super chat.
We're not monetized; it won't happen.
Yeah, none of us are monetized. So.
No, but there's one where the really awkward moment. We were at George's house. Do you remember when we were at George's house and your mom and your sister were, being a mayor? Your mom and your sister were. Your sister drove your mom, and then we were at George's for the baby reveal, and they were at the table, and I tried to change the subject, and I was like, so George went to her first storage unit auction today, and you just looked at me, rolled your eyes, and didn't help turn the conversation at all as I'm in the middle of a family debate. And I just shook my head at you. I couldn't believe it. You were putting me in this.
So my mom and my sister got into somewhat of a heated conversation right in front of him, and he tried to switch the subject by bringing up the fact that I went to my first auction, and I'm looking at him like, now's not the time.
No, she's not looking at me going, now's not the time. She's looking at me giving the death look.
Death look means now is not the time.
And I'm giving her the death look. You better save me right now. And she's looking at me going, you better shut up right now. And I'm looking back going, I'm the one that drove here. I'm gonna leave right now. Save me.
I don't think George was aware of the situation either.
He had too much
there was so
stuff
much
going
going on. Yeah.
No, I pay attention to everything.
So then he just went about his own.
I know
unit.
better than to interfere when my mom and sister are being a Mary what?
I call them Ameribeacons.
Ameribeacons.
That is the mix of American because they're born in America. Well, his sister was, and sisters.
All of my siblings.
But they're Arabic as well. And when you put it together, it's an Ameribeacon. So I call them Ameribeacons.
I feel like Danny May has all of our questions.
Well, can I do my dare?
Do it.
Can I do my dare? All right. So George and Jeremy, I dare both of y'all to do your best impersonation of each other, but George has to wear Jeremy's glasses, and to decide who goes first, we'll leave it up to the chat. So in the chat, who do you want to see impersonate who first? Type 1 for Jeremy and 2 for George, and then now we can ask Danny May's questions while the chat decides who goes first. I dare y'all.
So the freshest impersonation.
3. 1, 3.
3.
George impersonate both of them.
I should follow my brother on his channel, Taking a Risk with George. He impersonates Jeremy in
baby.
3 videos ago.
Yeah, just about.
And so that's fresh on my mind. So I'm gonna go with that.
Baby.
You're just gonna have to watch them all to figure out which one I actually did it in.
They're amazing.
Yeah. And none of it was like, I didn't even see it coming when we were recording. Like it just came out of nowhere, and it was just so funny. I couldn't take it anymore. And
I can't take it anymore.
You weren't with us.
Glasses.
You left to go to an appointment.
I can't see.
Wow. Baby.
Wait, am I supposed to impersonate you right
You're
now?
supposed to impersonate.
Okay.
I think. Who's supposed to impersonate who first?
So far, it looks
Give me a kiss.
it looks like George. George got to go first. I see more twos
There you
than
go.
anything.
I just did it.
Again.
Baby,
Yeah,
why don't you give me a kiss on the live chat?
How did it get to be me and then your mom at the same time? That just went from Jeremy to Mama George. That entire impersonation. You very funny, George. You very funny. Why you no call? You very funny. So now I get to do you.
Yeah, you get to do me.
Okay, ready? Well, this is before every time we film. This is 5 minutes of this before I can turn the camera on. And then, sorry, baby. Sorry, my hair.
My hair just gets in the
Sorry,
way.
baby, my hair. Sorry, baby. And then it's, what? And then it's, what are we going to have for lunch today? And then it's, my hair, baby. This is my hair. I'm sorry, baby. What do you want to do today? And then it's, what? It doesn't matter what it is. If you're yelling what and you think you're going to die, you did something wrong. And then it could be anything.
I feel like you're recording a Lil Jon video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
About Jeremy.
There's an R. There's an R in there.
If you guys know who Little John is, he always does that in every one of his songs.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing she does when she's mad at me when I'm trying to talk to her, it's this. It's the hair doesn't matter anymore. It's and I get this look like this. And her sister does it too. And I don't know. I've never seen your mom do it, but they do this thing, one eye up, one eye down, lips come out, and it's
George,
do it again.
George.
My eyes aren't big enough, but it's
One eyelid goes down, and it's
I've seen it a billion times.
yeah.
Now,
What?
now, do an impression of them now. Do an impression.
Me?
God, my eyes are watering.
Baby. Baby. I want to eat. That's all I've heard. Every time we go out of here, baby. And then what are we doing for lunch?
Baby, I'm doing for lunch.
Ketchup.
Ketchup and Baja Blast.
Oh my God.
I love Baja Blast though.
Look at the tears just running down my
There you
face.
Because you love it.
Every time we go out to eat, she always asks Jeremy, "Do you want a Mountain Dew for lunch?" And he's always, "Baby, I'm a Mountain Dew you."
Baby.
And the way George shakes his head.
What did I say to the waitress today, dear Dutchman? And she
She asked if we would like anything for dessert, and he said, "No, I'm eating this lady over," or something like that.
I said, I'm gonna have her.
I'm gonna have
Yes, that's what it was. I'm gonna have her, and she was like, "Okay," and just walked away with her innocence.
Yeah, but she did the look with
She
the
did
eyes, like
she did the
Did.
American.
I felt it over my shoulder. It made me do one of these because I thought I was gonna get smacked for you.
I'm gonna nibble on her or something like that.
That's weird. That's what I said when I went to have lunch with Jordan.
Man.
Okay.
All right, I have a question.
Have a great night, everybody.
I want to know,
That's a wrap.
Jeremy and George. I don't know if you guys have one together or separate, but what is one of the top things on each of your bucket list?
Oh gosh, the list is so long.
That's what she said.
So
Jeremy is to get a kiss on camera.
Yeah, I do keep a list.
she has a list of everything. Not only that,
I utilize my notes in my iPhone a lot.
not only that, her memory is really, really bad. And so did I just see George go, what?
No, I was whispering. It's horrible.
No, it's very, very frustrating.
It's not that bad.
I'm surprised you remember who I am. We haven't spoken in so long.
So I'm
About 20 minutes ago.
I'm a very driven person, and I'll lay out a plan for her, and I'll be like, and it has to happen in this time frame because of everything that's going on. And then she's oblivious to it 5 seconds later. It's like Dory. And so she uses everything. She'll deny it.
I am not like Dory from Finding
And
Nemo.
she can't
It's not
remember.
that bad.
She can't remember, so she can't really comment on this. And it gets very
She's
frustrating.
thinking, which one's Dory?
Yeah, which one is Dory? Can you remember?
The bluefish
Oh,
that
very
can't
good.
remember
You're
anything.
doing much better, sweetheart. Is that in your notes?
Look at,
So-
look at the first one that I have listed.
Yeah, you do.
So
So
this is like 50 first dates.
yeah, sometimes it feels like
No, it's not that bad.
that.
That
Sometimes it feels like it. But she will go in her calendar on her phone and she will diary everything we did that day, so she knows what actually happened that day.
I
At the
live
end
by
of
my
the day.
calendar.
And she has to because she can't remember 5 minutes ago. What? Don't worry, she won't be mad at me because 5 minutes from now, I'm not
I'll
gonna remember.
I
forget.
almost said she forgot what to say, but you beat me to the what.
So Sweet Fine says, George, what did you think when you first learned that Jeremy was into storage unit auctions?
Did you want the bucket list first?
Yeah.
What's on our bucket list? You have our bucket list.
A mutual bucket list is to go to oh, it's not on here. But
I think
it's
that's the J-Lo concert. That's definitely your bucket list, not mine.
Seeing J-Lo in concert is definitely on mine. I think we both would love to go to the Ellen show, and then also to
You want to be a guest on the Ellen show. You don't want to go to the Ellen show.
no, I'm willing to be
You
a
wanna be
guest.
a
Not a
guest.
guest, but like I'm willing to be in the crowd, like in the audience.
Like, all right, today we got George. And you can get on there and be like, what?
Hey, you gotta come out dancing.
I've been told I'm the male version of Ellen.
Jeez,
What?
I love Ellen.
By who? Stevie Wonder?
Talking about George.
By the other voices in my head.
George Yorgie.
Going to the Grand Canyon is a mutual thing on our bucket
Grand
list.
Canyon, Redwood.
Have you flown over it yet? It's just as good.
And then going to an auction and buying a storage unit in every state in the U.S. is another one of our on our bucket list.
That'd be cool.
Okay, let's jump to the next question because they want to know what you thought when you found out that I did storage units.
So when he actually told me on the first date, he goes, "This is what I do. What are your thoughts? Do you think you'd ever get into something like this?" And I'm thinking, like, is he a hoarder? and I looked at him and I was like, that's not something I could ever picture myself doing, because like in my mind, I'm thinking storage units. It's like people are dirty. You're digging through like dirty stuff, and it is a dirty job. And I said, but if that's something that you want to do, I will 100% support you.
I think the support part came later because remember, she still had dates lined up with other men. So I didn't have her completely. And yeah, but her first thoughts were, are you a hoarder? She asked me that. And she kind of told, she mentioned, and George can talk about this a little bit. Your dad is a constant buyer.
He's a buyer, but not a seller.
And so she was already had this in her blood of what this looks like, auctions and buying. And she perceived me the way that she's seen her dad.
Yeah, which I have the same issue. I'm a buyer, but not a seller. I can't figure it out.
Crazy.
And to answer Jody Matoma, the entrepreneur's question, he only has 2 friends, me and the beard. So it's kind of a weird answer if she doesn't say the beard.
And Manny.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. I always forget. Manny's the best friend.
Because he doesn't talk back to Jeremy.
He knows where he gets his paycheck from.
Hey, I've seen multiple dollars go into that guy's shirt tonight.
How
See my
much?
pants.
You got to pay to keep him quiet.
What was Jody's question?
Which one of your friends is the cutest? Let's stir it up. I believe that's what it said.
Oh,
Which one of your friends is the cutest?
Oh, you're my best friend, so you're the cutest. I ain't dumb.
Let me see if I can find it again.
Which one of your friends is the cutest?
No, which one of Jeremy's friends is the cutest in your opinion?
I said Manny.
I also said Manny.
I agree.
So she's asking you which one of my friends is the cutest.
He.
Okay. He.
You could say yourself since you are one of his friends.
It's true. That's the safest answer.
That's the safest.
Kind of a conceited answer, no?
Conceited or not, that's very safe.
I'm
And
gonna
you
go with
probably-
Manny.
Okay, that's safe as well. That was
I mean,
wise.
look at his eyebrows. His eyebrows are on fleek.
He has magic hands.
Speak English.
He's got
What is
luscious lashes.
fleek? What is fleek?
They're on point.
What is on point? Can you speak English? No more Arabic.
They're perfection.
Okay.
It's the tippy top 100 100.
Is he keeping it?
Manny keeps it 100.
Did you see him lay that girl in your video though? It was so magical how he just placed it on her.
What?
Those hands are magic. Manny, Magic Manny. That's what we're gonna start calling him.
Magic Manny.
This magic moment.
I think Suburban went to go get some tissues.
Yeah.
Is he crying
Because
again?
she said, how does that make you feel, Suburban?
Debbie, Manny actually donated his legs to a prosthesis clinic. He likes to help out.
That's his way to restore the love.
Yep, Manny's a giver.
That's admirable.
Yeah, he's trying to balance out all his bad acts in the past.
That way I don't lose him anymore.
All right.
So-
Jeremy,
Go ahead.
what pet names do you have for George?
Pet names. Okay.
Baby.
Well,
Baby times 3.
there's been a million pet names that I've had for her, and some of them that come. Well, we've talked about one already. I call her a Marabeacon, and again, that's American. She was born in America, but she's Arabic, and so I take American and Arabic and I put it together. She's my Marabeacon.
It's a word he created.
I
He's so
created
proud of
it.
that word. So proud.
I created it when she's being a Marabeacon because I think it explains her completely. I'm like, would you please stop being an Marabeacon? And so she is my Marabeacon. Do you like that one when I call you that one?
He usually calls me that when he's frustrated with me.
Okay, so I also call her my Habibi. Habibi. So I thing that I tried to do is learn some Arabic. So really early in our relationship, I tried to learn some Arabic, and I would send her Arabic to try and impress her. And so Habibi, and I can't pronounce anything except for Foos. I got Foos down really well. So anybody who's out
Fuss.
there, I just screwed that up. It's Fuss. So anybody out there in the chat, go ahead and Google that. But I call her my Habibi, but I can't say it, so it's Habibi, which in Arabic that means.
Oscar should know what Habibi means.
Yeah, it's like my sweetheart. I love you. So it can mean a couple things.
Yeah, it could be my friend. It's like words of endearment,
Right.
depending on who you're saying it to.
Which probably what I call you the most. And you have to remember there's a side of a personality that you see of George, and there's a side of a personality that you see on me on camera. And you don't see that in other aspects of our life. You're getting a glimpse of that tonight. So probably the word that I call you the most is what?
Sweetheart.
So probably sweetheart, hands down. It's usually sweetheart this, sweetheart that, sweetheart that. With the whole baby thing, number one, that builds excitement when we find something in a video. So baby, come here. So that helps build the anticipation and the excitement. And I'm excited. And I never called anybody really baby or anything like that. She started it. When you're with somebody and you guys start to take on personality traits of each other. So she started calling me baby in the beginning of the
just baby one time.
Well, baby, I gotta outdo you, so I had to trump it. So
he likes to be extra.
So she started the whole baby thing, but I also call her my Egyptian conniption. But my favorite is I call her lady. And now there is a story.
He refused to call me lady.
Okay, tell them the story of why you're me lady and the refusal.
Because he doesn't like for me to call him my boyfriend. He's like, I'm not a boy, I'm a man. Call me your man friend.
There you go, Jeremy.
Okay.
So then he started calling me his she friend because he's like, well, you're not a girl, so I'm gonna start calling you my she friend. So I was like, well, I'd rather be called me lady.
No, wait, you have to go back.
Instead of your she friend.
Because this goes all the way back to like first couple months seeing each other. And so, she would have to give me approval of what I could post on Facebook and all, that whole awkwardness of, she's turning down all these men and, they're watching it on Facebook and she's not communicating any of that with me. But obviously I know all of that. And if I'm tagging her, they're seeing it. And there's all that whole thing. So one night I wanted to tag a picture of her for Woman Crush Wednesday. And
what day is that on?
That's on Saturday. Every Saturday. Don't miss it. Okay. So we were going back and forth. I wanted to tag a picture. But at this point, her mom had found me on Facebook. And like when her family, I don't put friend requests out to people. And so I waited. So like when her mom sent me a friend request, I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? I don't know what to do. I was like, she can't see these memes I post. She'll never understand them. She'll think I'm a complete idiot. I'm like, I don't even have a job. I was so worried because I don't have a job. I post stupid stuff that I think is hilarious because I love funny stuff. I'm so worried about her mom seeing this stuff. Now her mom is going to see what I tag her in this picture, and we go back and forth. So I'm like, all right, I want to tag this and say, this is my she friend, and she's completely against this.
Because it's just tacky,
Which
she
I
friend.
think girlfriend is tacky. I think it sounds like junior high. I'm like, I'm 40. And, I'm 42 now. I'm like, yeah, my girlfriend? That sounds so junior high. And so we're going back and forth laughing like crazy over
like
this.
What he should label the picture he's going to tag.
And so we're going through all of this stuff. She's like, well, just call me your me lady. And I'm like, and you're worried about she friend? And so then I come up with, well, I'm just gonna put you down as my Egyptian conniption. And your big concern was, you remember?
That I was like, well, my mom's probably gonna interpret that I'm a magician, the Egyptian magician.
Your mom she thought her mom was going to interpret that because there's a translation issue.
There's a language barrier.
There's a language barrier. Her mom is from Egypt. So she's like, my mom's going to think I'm in witchcraft if you put that down. And we are dying.
George is agreeing. He's like, yeah.
We are dying. Who the Hales knows what your mom actually thinks of my Facebook post because all the memes I post. But we're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So now to this day, she wanted to be called me lady. And so when we're goofing around, when I'm frustrated with her, it's a Mara Beacon. But when we're goofing around, she's me lady. And what did I tag you as? Do you remember? Did I finally do it as me lady?
You ended up doing apple of my eye.
Oh, that's so boring. It's the apple of my eye.
Sounds like something a grandfather would say to a grandkid.
Vanilla.
All right, Jeremy. So which one of you has the shorter attention span?
What?
The shorter attention span.
Who do you think that is?
I think it all depends on the situation. It depends on the situation and what we're doing at the time. This one has a lot going on, so it's probably him.
I'm gonna kindly disagree with her.
Squirrel.
Attention span. She literally is squirrel. Now I have so much going on. I run multiple businesses. I have a huge amount of volume of things in my head that have to get accomplished every day.
Yeah, which is the perfect explanation why you have a lot of squirrel moments, because you're thinking about 100,000 things at a time.
But I disagree with her because I'm so focused to get it done. But along the way, I'm always focused. This is the next step. This is the next step. And she's squirrel. Where are we eating? Squirrel. Food. Squirrel. Hungry again. Squirrel.
Well, you know what? Let's ask George, because he hangs around us a lot. Is it me or Jeremy?
It's probably me. I forgot what we were talking about.
That was
I feel like I just got here. What's going on? Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show.
We actually live.
Thanks for tuning in just now. No, both of you are actually very focused. I've never ever seen one of you get off of track and get busy doing something else and not finish what you were doing first. And that's an honest answer. And I've seen you guys multitask as well. Yeah, I can get serious, people.
What? George, nobody knows how to write you right now.
Is there an R in the what? I heard an R in there, like a what?
Yes, there's some.
Well, it doesn't get as drastic as he makes it. I just
say
what?
I think there's an R and a Q. No, do it the way that you do it.
What?
All right, so
how you do it.
Look
at our next question is George. If both of you were trapped on a deserted island, who would be more likely to eat the other one to stay alive?
We're too busy staring at Suburban Beard's hoodie, the logo on his hoodie.
It's a really cool Grimes Finds hoodie. How much do you think it cost him to make those?
You're muted.
Oh, you're still muted.
It's an original, handmade.
Did you say crayon made?
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice.
Original crayon made circa 2019.
I had dollar signs going off, but very nice.
You can find it on the Hales' Facebook page and their eBay page.
Oh, there goes another one. Unemployed instead. There you go, Manny. A little bit of commission for you. Nice job.
Oh my god, my cheeks hurt.
Baby, which cheeks?
Mine, George. Mine.
You're gonna have to repeat the question.
Where do you live?
It's about who would eat the other person on a desert island. That's not a fair question. I don't want to hear the answer.
I would be you were straight.
George, we'll share each other's foot. You and me.
So if both of you were trapped on a deserted island, who would be more likely to eat the other one to stay alive?
Baby.
George got his earmuffs going on right
Get
now.
it out already.
I don't need dessert. I'm probably nibbling on her.
It'd be this guy.
Baby.
I'd be the weakest link. I wouldn't even know what to do to survive. I have zero survival skills.
Baby. You'd be a sausage link.
How often do you get hangry?
Almost every day.
How many times a day?
Once.
Yeah. You're a goner, bud.
It would definitely be George. Jeremy would be busy building a shelter or something, and she'd get hangry, sneak up behind him, and that would be the end.
I literally cut my arm off just so I didn't have to put up with her hangriness. I'd be like, take it. Go on in a while. I'll get this shelter done one-handed.
Yeah, that makes sense. He would He would look out for me like that and cut a limb.
He'd be making a how to survive video while dying in the process.
Have to listen to the hangriness.
He'd make a hobo sandwich of it over the fire.
Can I have a little bite, baby. What? Do you want to buy my food?
Imagine the video though, like surviving on a desert island with one arm and a half a foot.
Conky the dummy says, but you guys never actually have a knife.
We've been slacking.
You're gonna have to like beat your arm off with a branch.
That or a coconut.
Or an ice skate.
That would work too.
If you've seen the movie Castaway, you'd understand. Oh, but you don't watch movies. That's right.
I know.
You got any more questions?
Yeah, now that we're going to the movie question, Danny, a little while ago asked, what was the question? It was, so when you guys decide to sit down and watch a movie, who decides what movie to watch and what genre do you prefer to watch?
That's easy.
YouTube.
It's usually whatever he wants to watch.
It's not easy. I used to watch 2 to 3 movies every night, but she doesn't watch movies. So since I've known her, we barely ever watch any movies.
When we go camping, we watch a lot of movies.
Okay, so I'll pull movies from storage units and put them in the camper in preparation. So like last weekend, all day Saturday it rained. All we did is we got to watch movies and cuddle.
And it's whatever he chose.
She's like, what'd you bring? But I also will go, do you want to watch this? Here they all are.
And so I'll tell him whatever. Just put in whatever.
She's like, I just want to camper all day and cuddle. I'm like, all right. So we watched movies all day.
That's so funny, Alex.
It's just the way she's like, yeah, just put in whatever, man.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I have a kiss.
Do it.
Yes.
Creepy eyes.
Every,
eyes pop. Your eyes.
What
really
is your
blue
favorite
right now.
movie? You don't like watching movies. What's your favorite
My
movie?
ultimate favorite movie is like the slapstick funny movies that are so dumb they're funny.
Dumb and Dumber.
Borat.
Step Brothers.
That's
Step Brothers.
favorite.
You're holding my drum set.
That's right. Step Brothers is your favorite.
Did we just become best friends?
You want to go do karate in the garage?
That's weird. That's what Jordan asked me when the first time I went over his house. And I was like, yeah.
Only if you call me Dollar General.
Call me your DG, baby. I'm your DG.
You down with DG? Yeah, you know me.
What?
what?
Yeah, there it was. Somebody just heard it.
Alex.
Yeah,
You gotta roll the R's that's in between the W and the H.
George, who is the most likely to have the most embarrassing tattoo?
It's probably me. Jeremy doesn't have any. And then when I turned 18, I got 3. And back then the tattoo artists, like their artwork was just basic compared to like how tattoos are done now, where it's like the faded art, like the blended art. So it's probably me.
But if I got a tattoo, what would it be and where?
Baby.
It would be one of those mom heart tattoos on your shoulder.
You said it earlier.
Oscar and I have matching tramp stamps.
You said it.
Mine's shaded color.
Oh, I told him that if he got a tattoo, he'd probably get a peacock. I'm a peacock. You got to let me fly.
She's probably right.
That's the best quote ever.
I
on his lower back.
I have a birthmark on my left hip, and it's in the shape of a heart. Now it's not perfect lines; it's kind of jagged, but it literally is an upside down heart. So I've always had this idea that I was going to get initials tattooed in it someday, but I've never done it yet. But I do have. It's about that size on my hip, and initials can go into it perfectly. I've just never done it yet. But I think she's probably right. I probably put a peacock in there instead. You gotta let me fly, man.
Yeah, I got one on my right thigh, and it looks like a rabbit like jumping.
just put on there Happy Easter.
Yeah.
I agree with Lee. Jeremy's tattoo would look like the door in a storage unit over his chest. Let me show you my heart. It's up for auction.
Or like the gaffle.
Wait, you know, here we go. Here's what their door would be. Up, down, up, down.
So
wearing pants.
Jeremy, what's one of your most favorite memories with George?
When he met me.
Actually, meeting her brother was intimidating. Well,
really? No, but
Which
they
one?
right away.
Not meeting her brother, because she took me. Like I was saying that.
Jordan, you can mute him.
He is officially a bad boys of reselling.
You did it.
I guess he didn't like my answer. So, I don't even know.
baby.
Baby, dolphin.
So,
Manny, where were you on that one?
okay.
Shut up about Manny.
So, okay. So here's favorite moments with George.
So you didn't you meet my mom?
I met your mom the first time, George. But that's not a favorite memory. I met your whole family except for your dad at your brother's house for the baby reveal, the gender reveal.
Okay.
And so that was just literally being thrown in. The whole family is there, and here's this tall, nerdy white guy jumping in with all these, Egyptians, and I've always joked with her. Well, we'll probably get to that later, but I've always joked with her, and it was intimidating. But the thing that I love the most, and my favorite memories with her, are actually the laughing. And so I've never had a relationship along those lines before. And now these are the favorite memories, because what happens is the laughing is so much. Like tonight, she'll probably go back and watch this and she'll be cracking up. And here's the craziest part about her. I've never seen anything like it in my life except with goats. If you've ever seen a fainting goat, and they jump and then, okay, she will laugh. She'll be like, and then, I mean, she is literally asleep. I mean, it is the most interesting.
That's only happened one time.
No, this is, remember, bad memory. You can't even remember. This happens so often. We will be laughing and we'll both be crying. Okay. And usually when this happens, we're typically literally laughing and crying for a half hour at each other. What was the one time I was doing impersonations of your dad? Do you remember? I don't even. No, I was telling your dad.
It was both my parents.
No, I was remember what I was going to tell. I was going to tell your dad what I did for a living. I was scared to death to tell him what I did for a living. I was going to tell him I eat boogers and Cheetos. I get paid for this. Remember that? Remember I was doing the whole. I get paid for this. Yeah. And she was laughing for a half hour, and tears were coming out of her eyes. She was dying, and she literally just all of a sudden, like a fainting goat, she was out, and I thought she died. I thought I killed her with laughter. I mean, I literally thought she died. And now I'm used to it, to the point of she literally will just, it comes out of nowhere. She's not narcoleptic, anything like that. She will laugh and cry for a half hour and then bam, she's down. Those are the favorite memories, that she can laugh so hard that she literally, she passes out.
That was an isolated moment.
Those are not isolated. This happens. She has a very bad memory. But she also allows me to poke fun of it, and she pokes fun at me. So we both poke fun at each other all the time, and impersonate each other, and
we mock each other all the time.
Other like crazy, but then we always laugh like crazy too. So the favorite memories are always the laughter. She's brought laughter. Now, this will be a serious moment. She's not only brought laughter into my life, she's allowed laughter. And there's a big difference in a relationship, if you guys know what I mean. And so when you find somebody that not only brings the laughter, but they allow the laughter and they encourage it, they cultivate it, and they're a catalyst for it, That's an amazing thing. So that is easily favorite memories with her. Literally laughing until she passes out like a fainting goat.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
So, George, what do you think is the one thing Jeremy likes best about you?
What he just said, being able to laugh.
Maybe it's your kiss. If I could ever get one.
Baby.
I think one of the things that drew him to me was my personality and that I had a sense of humor. Like, he's one of the funniest people I've ever met. And I do get amused easily. I laugh a lot and I laugh at a lot of dumb things, but one of the things that attracts me the most to him is his personality and his sense of humor. Because if he didn't have either one of those, I would have ghosted him.
Never, Grandpa.
What?
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 Yeah, that was
Yes.
it. That was it. Just need a Q in there now. Put a Q in there and you got it.
And there are moments where he could act like a basic vanilla grandpa, but that's like when he gets business.
Basic vanilla grandpa.
Tunnel. He's like tunnel vision, tunnel focus, and it's like business.
Yeah, so there are areas where we clash as well. Like I've always been my own boss. I've always run a business. I've always had employees, and she's always worked for somebody. And when you go from a 9 to 5 culture and then you go into an entrepreneurship culture, it's a big difference. And so she's always telling me to chill. She's always telling me, would you just chill out, do this, do that. But we still, more often than not, we're laughing even after the fact that we're fighting. And which she always likes to say 80% of the time we're laughing, 20% of the time we're fighting. And then I just like to fight with her and say, nuh-uh, 20% of the time we're laughing, 80% of the time, just because it's just fun. Back at her, but I would say from the very beginning, we're not compatible people. And I'm being very transparent. It's one of the things that I thought from the beginning, that we're not compatible. That
we're perfectly incompatible.
That's probably
because opposites attract.
So my background and my growing up culture is very different. Her background, some things are the same. And so we're probably perfectly incompatible. And somehow she likes guys with swag. I'm a nerd. I like Egyptians. She's an American. So, I make exceptions. She makes exceptions.
All right, here's the dang deal. I had to go deal with some raccoons.
Did you get them? The trap? Yeah. I have a trap in the back. I've been trying to get those raccoons.
Did you wrestle them with your bare hand?
What you people heard were shots fired.
Thankfully, it wasn't the skunk.
Little dolphins.
Because she had said, "Welcome the." Back. Justin Grimes is on. He hopped on the chat.
Grimes finds. Grimes finds.
Yeah, Grimes finds. It's a little cold here in Ohio. It'd be cool if I had a hoodie.
Yeah, Grimes, you know what? You can keep the boots.
I think Suburban Beard could send you one.
Hoodie 2.0.
Yeah, hoodie 2.0 is still in Texas.
Yeah, I don't want the boots anymore. Manny doesn't deserve them.
Manny.
I'll get you the boots, Manny. Don't you worry.
Directly to us instead.
We need to get Justin up in this Saturday night show one night, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a platform that
Grimes?
We need a platform that holds more than 6.
Yes, that too.
We got to find a better one.
I feel like 6 is the perfect number, though.
It's pretty good.
1 is the loneliest number.
1 is the loneliest.
Josh, we're just gonna have to do a show together.
Should we? So the unit that we found the female mannequins in, should we give Suburban one of the females?
Make up for Manny marrying Manuela.
Yeah.
She doesn't have arms.
It's not gonna fill the void.
It's true.
The void in my heart.
Don't worry, she has other appendages that you'll be fond of.
Because their arms
So
are
what-
behind her back.
Hey, Josh, when are we having when is the show gonna be on my channel next?
I don't know. Have you scheduled anybody?
I mean, I got people, I just haven't scheduled.
Well, you always say you have people, but I'm like, give me dates.
Yeah, I haven't sent them out. But yeah, I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it.
We'll put something
Yeah,
together.
it's just you're the guy. You're the guy with the thing with the has the schedule.
No,
and
I'm the guy that
knowing
keeps track of dates, and I have no more dates to keep track of.
Yeah,
The Hales is it. We're done. This is the last show. Sorry, George.
that's it. It's over after this. We're done. So, all right, since no one else is going to ask questions, George, is there any special memory about Jeremy that you'll never forget?
Baby. What?
It's a hard one too because I've had a lot of happy, memorable moments with him that I won't forget.
Really?
Even though he claims that I have bad memory.
Have to record everything. We should literally have a library of life.
You just
Somebody at an auction right now?
Somebody who? What?
Somebody at an auction right now? Jesus.
Yes.
I wish.
Why you here, people? It's probably me.
So this one time Jeremy took me to Amish country where they have a petting farm, and there was a huge cow laying down sleeping. He's like, "Hey, you want to go cow tipping?" And I'm like, "It's already tipped." He goes, "All right, well, let's go cow standing."
And for some reason, she thinks that's funny. I'm not sure why.
Because who in their right mind would say, "Okay, well then let's go cow standing"? It's the random things that comes out of his mouth that makes
Dolphins.
That's
I don't know. I
think
feel like
George-
George is pretty unpredictable too.
so many.
It depends on which personality you get.
There's just too many to list.
Baby, you have to pick one.
Well, that's one of them.
Okay, pick another one. Random thing.
His love of ketchup.
Yeah.
Remember when we went to the?
He likes ketchup on his ketchup.
Do you remember when we went to the slide? We have a 30-second video of it when we went to the slide in the parks. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
There is a video. You should tell them about that video.
We
because
should
Nobody.
we should
knows
put the
about it.
link in the chat.
I don't know how to
Pull up another YouTube
All right, you tell the story. I'll put the link in the chat.
tab, and then you'd have to look for it. You'd have to go like in the traveling with us one. Did you put in that one?
I
In
can't
that
pull
folder?
it. I'll find it. You tell the story. Because I'm always planning dates for us. But
I think it'd be more fun and interesting if they watched the 30-second video themselves
I'll see if I can.
than
find
for
it.
me to try to explain
It's
it.
our shortest video ever.
It's the shortest video on our channel.
We can share a screen if you give me the link.
Okay, I'm looking for it.
Okay.
I'll see if I can get it to you guys. It's gonna be difficult.
This
to find,
was
but we'll
before
find it.
YouTube when we actually had time to go on dates.
Yeah.
Where did you take me?
There's a garden over by the OARC here, which is an extension.
It's like a horticulture center.
It's an extension of Ohio State University, and out in the middle of the woods.
So we're taking a walk because we love to go on nature walks and just be outside. Anything that dealt with outdoors, we were doing it. Again, back before YouTube, where we actually had a life and had time for dates. There was this random, would you say it was like 50 foot, 100 feet slide?
Probably 50 foot.
Like a 50-foot slide in the middle of nowhere.
Baby, I promise it's 100
Of
foot.
him going down it.
No, she dares me to go down it. So
And mind you, he's 6'2", and there's all these turns in the slide. He's too long to fit in the curve. So it's like one of the.
I'll find it.
You'd have
That's
to go
what she
all the way
said.
back.
I'm doing
So
few delete.
So then There's sound effects that he adds to the video, which makes it even funnier.
No, you have to tell the story. What happened with the sound effects? And be honest.
Well, they have to watch it themselves. I think they should watch it first.
Okay, I'm looking for it.
I agree with Justin Grimes. He probably took you to public storage for coffee.
Okay, I just found it.
What did Grimes say?
That he took you to public storage for coffee.
So I just found the video. We'll give you the link. It is the shortest video on the channel. But this is another time where we were cry laughing for easily a half hour. And the reason was because of the editing process. Now you have to understand, it was all me and YouTube. I invited her to be a part of it. She told me she didn't want anything to do with it. And then all of a sudden she wants to do everything to do with it. I've edited it. I've done everything. And this was a part of a process where she would let me know in the beginning stages. She would say, no, you can't do that. You can't use this clip. You can't. To where now is, I don't even, just I put whatever I'm going to put. And so here she wanted to, well,
all right,
let them watch it. And then.
You landed right on your feet.
No, I know.
Replay.
That's how you really hurt your back.
Yeah, how
Can you do slow motion on it?
how many
At the end.
Wow.
Oh, that was fast.
You
Wrong
landed right
way.
on your feet.
No, I landed.
Listen. No, you're missing a crucial part of why this is so funny.
You landed right on your feet.
I landed on my back. It's crazy.
Right there. That was George. That was George. Okay. So this is why this video. Do you remember laughing in the hallway for a half hour?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Okay. Shortest video ever. You guys know.
So he begged me to put in a farting sound effect in the video.
And she said, no.
I said, absolutely
She's like,
not.
you absolutely cannot. Except I know exactly where it needs to go. And she took over all editing. And I'm dying
told him
laughing.
exactly what sound
And she's
effects
like,
to use
"It
and
has
where to
be-"
put it.
She goes, it has to be this fart noise. It has to go right here. It has to be this volume. And I'm sitting in there dying laughing. And I'm going, this is the one. This is the one. We were crying for a half hour. And
So
all of a
funny.
sudden, I look at her and she's like, ha ha. And I hit upload.
Public. Oh my gosh.
The whole fart noise was her. All her.
Yeah, that was my idea.
That's amazing.
The things people are afraid to do.
That was a moment.
Yeah, it was.
We literally.
So if you live in the Worcester area or local to Worcester, if you ever want to check out that slide,
It's randomly in the woods. We don't even know how we found it. We're not even
just
sure
keep
why we went
walking and
down
you'll
it.
run into it.
Eventually, you'll find it. And we were going to put Manny and Manuela down it as well, but we didn't know if we had enough time to actually find it again. And then she wanted to put fart noises in too, but that was a moment when she's editing in fart noises, and I was like, this woman is the one. I'm like, I can't get enough.
That was a funny day.
It's at the campus of the Ohio Agricultural Research and
Yes.
Development Center.
It's open to the public.
OARDC.
You can look at everything that they plant. It's absolutely beautiful if you appreciate horticulture and just being outside. And that slide is literally in the middle of.
And I
that
wanted
area.
to put the fart noise where I hit the bend in the slide and I rack my patties. So and she's like, no, absolutely not. No. And then she turns around and goes, unless you put it, I know exactly where it goes. And I lost it. I lost it.
I put the address in the chat if you're so inclined to drive out there.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, check it out if you guys are local. It's a lot of fun.
So, Jeremy, if you woke up one day and found out George lost her memory, what would you do?
What?
What? What? Today and find out that George lost her memory. And I'll tell you what I do. I pretend like I did too. It makes it for a fun game. It literally is a very fun game. Well, that's where, yeah, I would. I will make fun of it all the time, and so I'll pick a fight with her just to make fun. I'm not a real fight, and I'll make fun of her and go, "You won't remember this in 5 minutes anyway." She's like, "You're right."
Then she falls asleep.
So,
I always say I don't have Alzheimer's. I have Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
But
Look, Suburban Beard put all those peanuts in the chat.
Okay, so pull up some of your diary on your calendar. This is the crazy part. If you pull up your calendar that you can share, like she will literally at the end of the day, she documents everything we've done in our life. And so, people say all the time in our videos, the ladies say it, they go, I wish I had a man that was so deeply in love with George like Jeremy is. And I wish I had a man like that who loved me like Jeremy loves George, or a man that looks at George like Jeremy looks at George, and things like that. And really, these people sit there and they think, wow, Jeremy is so obsessed with George. If you really got to know us, who's more obsessed with who?
Manny.
And we also get from men all the time, George, what the Hales are you doing with a man like Jeremy? He's such a this and he's that, and I'll kill. I mean, we get death threats and everything. And so the men always say, what in the world? And they have no concept of reality in the first place. They live in their parents' basement and have no jobs. But that being said, who's more obsessed over who? What would you say? She's probably more. The reality is she's probably more obsessed over me than I am over her. But I'm pretty obsessed over her too. But she goes to the point. We deeply love each other, but she goes to the point of documenting everything that we've done in our day. She has everything.
Well, I can show you what we did Tuesday, and this goes all the way back from day one. Yeah. So, like, for example, I have listed, like, on Tuesday. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Does it say Dollar General penny list?
Take it back to some of our first dates. Just out of curiosity.
Well, I want to show them like a typical day now, like on Tuesday at 10 o'clock from 10 to 2:30. We went to a public storage caravan auction.
Suburban Beard. She has Euclid Beach with Jeremy. After you left the beach with us, we went out to the pier. I was she loves the beach. And we went out to the pier. She started a fight, but I still love her. But she still documented it afterwards. And so
it was cold and windy out there. I wasn't prepared and I wasn't dressed, and he wanted to just sit out on the pier and it was freezing. And I'm like, this isn't enjoyable. I'm freezing. Let's just go. The sun has set. Let's go.
And I'm telling her, I enjoy being with you and what you like to do. And I'm trying to give you something that you want to do because YouTube's taken all this time. So we're in this clash. I'm trying to do something for her.
We spent a good 20 minutes there. I think 20 minutes was pretty sufficient.
2 minutes.
Yeah, it was cold. There was a lot of wind.
That's right. I did. You got that. That was 20 minutes in the bathroom. All right, you forgot to put that. We saw that giant buck in the middle of Euclid that I wanted to get out.
That thing was crazy.
Yeah, we passed did you see buck. It? Yeah, you did.
6-pointer? Was it a 6-pointer?
The only reason why I didn't get out of the truck and try and wrestle it to the ground by its antlers is because, number one, that's illegal because that's DNR property. But number two, we had to get to the sunset in time to film. But number three, I still would have done it and released it on YouTube because that video would have went viral.
The thing was huge. The thing was like the size of the back of your trailer.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. It was by itself in the middle of the neighborhood.
The neighborhood right next to the beach.
Yeah.
Can you pull up a calendar?
Down by the beach, man.
I want to see something from when we first started seeing each other. And do you have in there who you canceled the dates with to see me?
Manny.
Manny.
The funny part is when we started seeing each other, she would always tell me, "I've got plans with friends." Like I didn't know what that meant. I'm like, well, I got no plans.
He had plans with friends also.
No, I didn't.
He forgot to include that part and left that part out.
I will say that I probably went on 100 different dates before I met her. I was just so bored and wanted to get out of the house. So I would plan a brunch date, a lunch date, a dinner date, just to get out of the house for something to do, because I'm self-employed. I'm a landlord, and so I collect checks. So I just needed to get out of the house. And then when I met her, then I would beg to go to her house and mow her lawn. I begged to mow her lawn. I begged to power wash
my patio.
I'm like, I'll power wash her patio. I went out and bought a $500 brand new power washer just so I could go to her house and power wash her patio.
And he just wrote his name in the back and left.
What's that?
I say you just wrote your name in the back and left.
This is my house.
My house, Jeremy.
Jeremy
was here.
So we talked about going to the Christian concert.
Yeah. Do you have that?
Yeah,
day?
I have that date. This happened August 5th, 2018.
They're not going to be able to see it. Can you read it?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. Well, anyways, I have in here documented that at 9 o'clock went to breakfast with Jeremy, and then I put down where we went. Grace Church with Jeremy, Menor Beach, and then the Christian concert. And then I had a reminder in there to water my plants.
I love it because she said, baby, I'll power wash your patio.
She does not have the original date that she had with another friend in here, so apparently I rank.
Danny wants to know, where else have y'all lived other than Ohio? What the hell's first?
I've lived in Ohio all my life. I've never lived outside of Ohio.
I lived in Ohio, born and raised in Ohio. Then for my undergrad, I lived in West Virginia for 2 years. I did 4 years of college with a double major in 2 years. Then I went up to Northern Michigan and I worked on my master's in Pennsylvania while I worked in Michigan. Got my master's in 2 years there. Then I moved back to Ohio. So Ohio, West Virginia, Michigan, Ohio.
Yeah, I went born and raised in Ohio, and then I did some schooling in Pennsylvania, and then I came back to Ohio, and I'm still here.
What about everyone else on the panel? Where else have you guys lived?
East Miami, West Miami, South Miami.
You're never gonna fly out of the nest, the Miami nest.
To Miami.
I would love to live in Georgia. I would love to live in Tennessee. But my career right now is in Miami, and I'm going to school in Miami. I'm working on a master's. Maybe afterwards I will go live in Georgia or in Tennessee.
I can answer for George. I know he's lived in Hawaii, but we can circle back to him. Hopefully he'll be back by the time we're done with the rest of the panel.
He's fighting raccoons.
Those damn raccoons.
I get a ton of raccoons in the backyard. I get raccoons,
dolphin raccoons,
and I also get possums back there like
yeah.
crazy. I have traps set up there, and then I go release them over at the warehouse.
He gets a lot of black squirrels. There's a lot of them out here.
We get a lot. Worcester's the hood.
I was going to say something, bro.
They do this for Worcester.
Yeah, they do this for Worcester.
Worcester.
Squirrels. Worcester squirrels.
Worcester squirrels. Oh my Lord.
What about you, Alex?
Yeah, what about you?
I was born and raised in Miami. Lived in every single community, little neighborhood in Miami, from Miami Gardens, Carroll City, Palm Springs North, Little Havana, Southwest, Southeast, South, every part of Miami. But then I moved to Tennessee when I was 20, going on 21, because my family thought they needed to get me away from Miami because I had a problem. And they didn't realize that I was the problem. So I went over there and continued being a problem. So then I ended up coming back to Miami.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, kind of like that. Kind of way, way worse. And then I came back to Miami. And from being in Miami and finally getting my act together, I was homeless. So I lived again everywhere. And then I went into a place looking for help, and I was able to live in New York for almost 2 years, Staten Island. So I've lived in Tennessee, Miami, and Staten Island.
I lived in the
And
West.
now I'm in Massachusetts.
Oh yeah, Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. So
Yeah, I've
fancy.
lived here for 2 weeks now.
And Josh just lives in his own tears because Manny left him.
Right? Yeah, I've lived on the west side of Cleveland my entire life. I technically lived for 3 months in Hawaii. My grandfather was a Lutheran pastor out there and spent the summer with him and my family out there. And then I lived in Parma for 6 months. That was dedication for my wife, but that's the closest I've moved out of Ohio or the west side of Cleveland. I've traveled everywhere else.
I've heard now you have the key to Parma. Is that correct?
Yes, I have the key to the city of Parma, actually. It's actually, truth be told, it is hanging in our kitchen.
In case of an emergency.
Right, in case of, like, if I need to get to Parma, I have the key. I still won't go, but I have the key.
Even if I'm desperate, I won't go.
No, I won't. That's why I left my job. It was located in Parma.
It looks like Danny's moving.
Crane Alex wants to know, are you really in Massachusetts? I haven't watched in a while.
I think I am. That's what they told me. Yeah, no, I'm in Massachusetts. I've been here for almost a week now. I've been here. I was just helping my cousin move, and one thing led to another, and what was supposed to be a week turned into 2, and we've been working nonstop trying to bring his whole entire 30 plus, almost 40 years of life over here in a U-Haul, and then unload the truck too, which was crazy. But yeah, we're finally done. We finally unloaded the U-Haul today, and the U-Haul is back at U-Haul, and I go back home tomorrow. Miami, where it's warm.
When's your next video coming out, man? We're waiting.
Mine? Dude, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. It's been a mention, man. I'm technically challenged, or technologically challenged. So I have issues with figuring out how to download and then upload and then the bit rate and then the MP4 to the MP whatever and then what is this and what is that. I was supposed to come out with a video that I did actually with Jeremy and Oscar was there and Grimes was there and Pirate was there. I was supposed to come out with that last week, so that's how behind I am. And but I got a couple cool videos gonna come out. I didn't really go out much, but I got some good stuff coming out, man. I think I have the best story of thrifting for the first time at Sabres history. I think it's probably the best story ever.
Oh, the picture, yes, the picture you sent. That was awesome.
Yeah, and it involves this box right here. You see this box?
Yeah.
The gray box.
That little gray box.
Did you cut a hole?
Nobody would touch it. Nobody would touch it, but I touched it. And it was pretty amazing what was inside that box.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. But yeah, I'll be coming out with videos. As soon as I get home, I got stuff set up. So it's just I just got to figure things out. I got a new GoPro Max. So I will be coming out with a new perspective of garage sailing and all the craziness and the, so that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
Oh, there's another one.
There
Nice
goes.
job, Manny. They're not done yet. Look at that. We're ragging it up tonight.
Josh, come back.
We should have hired him
Josh-
sooner.
Josh is MIA again.
In his tears.
So, George,
I know where the warehouse is.
George,
I'm gonna have to throw you one of those life donuts to save you from drowning in your tears.
It's a life preserver, and now you're thinking about food.
Does she normally smile when she's hangry?
What did you just say, Manny? He just said, "Cry me a river, suburban beer."
It's cry me a river, build me a bridge, and get over it.
yeah, she's probably over there eating Sour Patch Kids.
I can't be mad at the Hales though. They found an amazing unit with thousands and thousands of dollars of trains and models and everything. And Manny has found happiness. I'm still gonna find a way to steal him.
They have killer raccoons.
Is priceless. When it
This
comes
will
right
be
down to it.
Taken Part 4.
I have a specific set of skills. I know how to take apart a mannequin.
And bring him back to me.
So
you can
George,
keep the love child of the man, the injection molded baby.
so George, who usually gets their way?
Hands down.
I let him run the show.
Hands down, this woman gets her way every single time, no matter what.
It's more like 80-20.
It's more like 100-0.
80-20.
100-0.
Okay, maybe 90-10.
All right, maybe 100-0. The reality is I cave to her all the time, to everything.
Everything George wants.
Well, she is a very strong-willed, independent person, and that's one of the things she prides herself on is her independence.
I've always been independent.
So
I've been working since I was 10, so I've always been independent.
I was working before I was born. What you got on that?
When child labor was legal.
I was a stenographer in the womb.
So she prides herself on her independence, and she'll I typically back down to her. You get your way. She's laughing.
I guess it depends on the situation. Like if he wants to go to an auction, he wants to film, and it's all about YouTube, it's whatever he wants to do. But then like when I want to just break free from working and having a life and having a social life, he'll cave in to me. But it's like 90-10 because our life has become eat, sleep, YouTube. And I try to tell him like, okay, it's enough is enough. We need a life. We need to go on dates and not think about work and not think about YouTube and not think about storage auctions or selling or buying. So.
And her life of independence has always been in a culture of 9 to 5. My life of entrepreneurship has always been
24/7 around the clock.
And that's what small business entrepreneurship is. And I grew up in a family business. That's the only culture I ever knew. Your family puts everything into it because you either feed your family, it's thrive, or or famine, one or the other. And so when I said we're perfectly incompatible, our whole cultures clash that way. And
yeah, they do, because I'm used to having a life before I quit, I was used to having a life in the evenings and every weekend because I worked 9 to 5. When I was done at 5, I didn't have to think about work. I had a job where I didn't even have to think about work, and I can just go enjoy life and hang out with friends and have a social life. With YouTube and reselling, we don't have a life. It's just round the clock work.
And for her, she views that as YouTube and reselling. That's not YouTube and reselling, because from my point of view, that's entrepreneurship. If you own a business, that's a startup business. 9 out of 10 startup businesses fail. And the reason why they typically do is you don't put everything into it, or it's a bad business plan. But that 1 out of 10, it survives. And if it can survive the first 5 years, you get that flywheel moving. And once it gets moving, it rolls, and then it grows, and then you pass it on to the next person. And I don't mean you sell it, which you could, but you find an employee, you hire them to do it, and you build another business. And so I'm accustomed to putting everything in, and we clash that way. But reality is I cave. If we have a fight, it's me caving to her, in my opinion. What's your opinion?
It happens, but it's like 90-10.
100. You keeping it for reals? 100.
100.
So, who do you think gets their way more?
You do.
And I would argue that she does, because I'll fight to a point, and then I just don't want to fight anymore because I'm not a fighter, and I'll just cave and just go whatever it is you want, whatever. You disagree?
It happens, but 10% of the time.
And please tell them what happens the other 90% of the time.
We do whatever you want to do.
So
I let you take the lead on our day.
she does say that often. She goes, all right, you take the lead. I'm
You take the
following
lead.
you.
I'm
And
just
I laugh
following
at
you.
her. I laugh at her and I go, who's this new person? Because she's so used to having control and she's so used to her independence. She's not accustomed to coming alongside of somebody who already has something going and they're pushing it forward. And so
So
again,
you caving in is compromising.
so we're perfectly incompatible. We make it work somehow. Agree?
Yeah.
Disagree? It makes for a very interesting dynamic. I think our cultural backgrounds make for a very interesting, when I say we're perfectly incompatible, our cultural backgrounds make for a very interesting incompatible but perfectly incompatible. I think our views of business, again, just speech, language, music taste, and it could go on and on and on. But somehow we end up cracking up. She goes, somehow we've made it work, and from the very beginning, she says this all the time. She always goes. She goes, if you ever leave me, I will find you. And she's not joking.
That's what I say about Manny.
She is not joking, but she always says from the very moment that we met, we've been inseparable since. Or
Yeah,
you
we
usually say
have.
from date 3.
Since date 3. We've been inseparable since date 3.
Now I don't know if it's been asked or maybe it's just it was worded different, but what is a pet peeve? Right? Is that the word, pet peeve?
Yeah.
That y'all have with one another, right? What's that one thing? This is your opportunity to air it all out. This is your opportunity to air it all out. Just put it on the table so y'all can move forward.
It's just the 6 of us. No one else is watching. You're fine.
That's true. You want to do your pet peeve first, or you want me to do mine
peeve?
so that you can
So
retaliate?
there's a lot of things that he does that irks me, and I'm sure it would irk most women, but I've learned to just let it go because I've learned to pick my battles with him. But my biggest pet peeve with him is when I'm trying to give him, like when we're trying to brainstorm and we're bouncing ideas off of each other, I'm trying to give him different options. He shoots it down and he's like, nope, it's this way or no way. Like not being open-minded to like my idea.
And I would disagree with her that the only time I shoot it down is when there is a time crunch and she does not view, and this is a pet peeve of mine, she can't see the big picture of what has to happen in this amount of time for everything else to happen. And she's never going to, and I can't translate it to her. And so even when I've attempted to communicate to her why it has to be this way, how her way that she's saying won't work, and it'll take me 15 minutes for it to click, but I don't have 15 minutes. This literally has to be done in 5 minutes because we have to be here at this time and do this, and she can't see that. So that's a pet peeve of mine. So like, for example, with the Manny video this past couple days, so this is a pet peeve. I say, all right, we're going to take Manny and the mannequins, we're going to put them on the swings, and she immediately goes, you can't do that. And for me,
I didn't say you could do that. I said it's just difficult. Let's think of something else to do.
So for me, my immediate response is last Thanksgiving, we put a 200-pound safe on a swing, and it was the best video we've ever did.
But the safes didn't have arms and legs. Like, Manny falls apart easily. So it makes it very challenging.
So the past 2 days, not today, the past 2 days were very, very, very intense for me in regards to time sensitive things that had to happen and interruptions. And I'll give you an example. An interruption is somebody stops at the warehouse and I only have this time frame to get this done and this done and this done on a very, very tight business schedule. And somebody stops at the warehouse, and the very first thing I said to you when Brian stopped is what? Everything's out the window now. He's going to want to talk for an hour. I cannot deal with this right now because if that goes out, everything else goes out. But she can't see that big picture because I keep the schedule and what has to happen in a business day, whereas she's more of the socialite. So like a lot of times I'll tell her, and Suburban Beard has seen me in business mode, and I'm sure George has too. And I will actually apologize to people. I will tell them, listen, I'm not very personable right now. I'm in business mode. This has to happen or the business will suffer. And so I need her.
That was the first thing you told me when we met.
Believe it. And I'm sure it was, because everything in an auction is time sensitive on schedule. This has to happen. This has to happen. And so I need her to actually be the person that goes up to people and go, we're what the Hales. And she loves the social interaction, whereas I can keep the business plan and she can keep the PR. So we work well. The pet peeves that we have on each other actually plays to strengths as well, because I can keep it driven and where it's going, and she can do the PR and actually protect my time, which is very, very important. You see one aspect of my life on YouTube. You don't see the million other things that I'm dealing with. And we just don't show it because that's not what people want to see. But the real benefit is that she can do that PR and she can protect my time by being the socialite, which helps me tremendously. But like the past 2 days were intense for me. Today was just like, I kept telling her all day today, we were in Amish country. She goes, we got to get home. We got to get home. And I'm like, you're sounding like me now on our schedule. I said, we don't have to there's nowhere we have to be. We can do whatever we want today. I said, the schedule is, we can do whatever we want today. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
No, I didn't say we have to be home. I just said, if we have time.
Those are our pet peeves. My other pet peeve is, I would say she argues about everything, and she'll say she friendly debates. So it's just part of, I personally think it's part of her culture that, like we said before, the aggressiveness. So I could say it's this time, and she'll go. If I say it's 11:05, she'll go, no, it's 11:06. And she'll go, I'm not arguing. I'm friendly debating.
I'm a master
was
debater.
Was that almost a kiss?
No, I won't be getting a kiss after this.
That was almost an accidental. Hey,
I would never get a kiss after this. But that's one of the things. And she always says she's friendly debating, and where I always view it as an argument, and she always views it as a non-argument.
It's not an argument.
See, and so that's one of the things that we're perfectly incompatible. And so I view it as an argument and don't want to argue. So I'll shut down and I'll shut her down and then she views it as, why aren't you talking to me now? It wasn't an argument. Right? Mm.
She wins.
No, on camera.
Because they're never arguments.
Oh my goodness. But we love each other to death. That's crazy.
I don't know any couple that agrees with each other 100% or has their own opinion.
And my wife's watching now.
Glock 30 fan. Yes, George actually does have her own YouTube channel. It is Infamous George.
I have 2 videos up on there. They're just like short videos.
Driving the wrong way in a one-way street.
And then in the future, once things get less, probably when we hit the road, I'll probably do more videos. And it has not going to have anything to do with storage units, and it's not going to have anything to do with reselling. It's just going to be our life.
The craziness of it.
Yeah.
And on the road, actually, when we go on the road, it will be less crazy. Mm-hmm. But I actually have to put everything in place. Like, I have been busting my back and my tail for over a year to plan to take us on the road. And so for me, this huge plan is in place. Like I talk about, I see the big picture, and then she's more of the socialite. So I have this huge plan that I've been putting in place for a year, and I've been pushing myself so hard for a year.
He has been, for the last 13 months, he's been putting a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into
to getting on the road, to actually easing all of that.
Which is a mutual bucket list.
So
Thing
to
on the
ease
bucket
all that,
list.
once we go on the road, everything eases up. And so that's a difficult thing for her when she's going, I got in this relationship with you and all you're doing is breaking your back and your work. And then I go, all I'm doing is working. So because you said you wanted to go on the road with me, I thought I was doing this for you and for us.
Block 30 fan said that I should make relationship advice videos.
That would be interesting.
That would be very interesting.
Which, that being said, we personally are going through a lot of relational sermons and things like that.
Mhm.
So even us as a couple, we just finished a series by Andy Stanley that we were going through personally on ourselves just to strengthen our relationship. So we do things like that as well, just to strengthen our relationship.
So is that like a 90-day evaluation?
You did get one.
I did, yeah, he thought it'd be funny to give me a 60-day eval and also a 90-day
George, do you do that to your wife?
I don't have a wife.
His she friend, his
There's she
Right.
friend.
Lady.
She friend.
His dolphin.
You're not plastic Manny.
Baby, there's one more funny story I think you should tell before they go off.
which is
The day that I met all your friends, the most awkward day of my life.
it was actually pretty funny. We went to
That, and you should tell them my biggest fear of meeting your family at the holidays.
we touched base on that already.
Did we?
Yeah.
I was scared to death her parents were going to
All right.
find
Well,
out.
let's tell the story together. Okay.
You tell this one.
He's a better storyteller than I am. So we got to dinner and they seat us in like one of those U-shaped booths. So everyone is like really tight next to each other.
And I'm meeting her close friends.
Yeah. And these are my close friends that I've known for 10 plus years.
And this is awkward for me, whether she realizes it or not, because my background is very different than her friend's background. And so, it's different. It's culturally different. So I'm sensitive to that. So it's awkward for me.
So we there's 4 couples. There's 8 of us. Yeah, 4 couples there. And at the end of we have dinner, and then the waitress brings all of our bills.
Wait, before she brings the bills, but remember what
before she brings the bills, they asked him, one of the most common questions, like frequently asked questions strangers typically ask each other is like, so what do you do for a living? Right. And
I hate answering this question because nobody can understand.
And this is before we came up with the term fun employed, right? He just tells them I'm unemployed.
The easiest thing for me to ever say to people was I'm unemployed, which is so far from the truth, but it's by far the easiest thing. And I kept telling her, that's what I'm going to tell your parents. I'm like, I'm just going to tell them I'm unemployed.
So they're like, oh, okay, that sounds good. And then I would tell, this is before I quit my job. I'm like, I'm going to quit my job just to help him. And they're like, okay, so what do you do again? He's like, I'm unemployed.
So all of her friends are staring at her awkwardly. She's telling them that she's going to quit her job to help me. And I'm telling them I'm unemployed.
Baby, we'll live in a storage unit.
Yeah, exactly.
So then I dared him to pay the waitress with his Giant Eagle rewards card.
No, it was my library card.
And he goes, well, I'll
library.
For my library card. And she takes it and swipes it, tries 3 times, and it declines.
And all of her friends know that I'm trying to pay with my library card.
Yeah, they all know. And we're just dying laughing when we come, like trying not to laugh.
They all know I'm unemployed and trying to pay for a meal with a library card.
So then he slides over his Goodwill card. He's like, do you accept Goodwill? And they're all just busting out laughing because this is their first time meeting him, and they're probably like, okay, he's perfect for her because they know that I'm like the funniest in the group.
They know your
In that group.
personality.
Yeah. So,
but I think I offended one of them because he used to be a server.
Yeah.
And he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What he doesn't know we didn't
He
tell
left
him.
a big tip.
I left a $50
for
tip
being a good sport
for the
yeah,
waitress for being a good sport and having fun with it. But she literally was trying to run she came back. She's like, I tried to run this card 4 times. It's a library card. And one of her friends is like, you have a Goodwill rewards card? I'm like, doesn't everybody?
Doesn't everyone?
I'm unemployed.
That's how they pay me.
That's the last time we've ever seen your friends.
Josh, is that how you pay Manny?
Manny doesn't eat.
He didn't when he was with you. He does just fine over here.
He's getting a
little
belly.
gut.
He's getting a little food baby.
And a real one.
He's getting that cheddar.
It's been 2 hours.
It has been.
What?
Did he say husband?
What?
Baby.
What?
How many times have we killed each other?
Never, because we're both still alive.
How many times have we wanted to kill each other?
Now that's a different question.
Yeah, it is.
Hold on. Let her pull out her notebook.
Yeah.
2,984.
Killed Jeremy today. Got hangry. Almost killed him. He found a McDonald's. Got me crack fries. Love Jeremy again.
To-do list. Kill Jeremy.
If anyone on the panel or in the chat has ever gotten hangry, I know it's not just me. I know a lot of people get hangry. And
That's my wife.
carbs seems to do the trick.
It does. It always does when you're hangry.
It's just like we leave dinner and we can't pass a restaurant with my 6-year-old. It's like, I'm hungry. I'm like, excuse me? We just left. We just ate dinner. Where were you? Like, yeah, but I'm starving.
I'm starving.
I get hangry all the time.
I want to share one.
I get hangry all the time.
Viewers, just so we're very, very clear, for all of our differences, I love this woman to death. It literally might kill me. So, but no, I've never had so much fun in all my life with a life partner. I've never laughed so much in all of my life with an individual, frankly, with a female that has such a huge personality. So for all of our differences on a daily basis, we make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a pretty phenomenal thing. And to say that I literally, I don't know if obsessed is the right word. You always tell me that you're obsessed with me. I don't think that I'm obsessed with you. I mean, I think
it's
the world of her.
It's a healthy level.
I think
obsession.
the world of her. Like if I'm gonna go somewhere and I want it to be fun, who's the first person you think of is going to take with you? And I would think she has to be there with me, and because she and I will bust up laughing, and we may fight and we may bicker like anybody and everybody else does, and that's not fire fights and bickering, but I wouldn't want to be with anybody else.
Aww.
I just don't want us to fight afterwards. I had to say all that stuff.
Our mic's not muted.
Just like George. Let me get the gun.
What?
What?
Actually, that'd be the greatest shirt ever on the back. It says "Baby, baby, baby." What?
We probably could sell that.
We should.
We probably could.
We're thinking about like switching up the merch that we sell, like switching up like Fun Employee to something completely different and like switching it up every quarter. That could be an idea.
What?
It's got to have an R and a Q. It has to have multiple R's.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How would you spell it?
WRRRRRHAQT.
Yep.
What?
Yep. That's it. That's how you do
But the
it.
T's capitalized. The T's capitalized.
Maybe that's how you do
I
it.
just say what?
You so do not just say
What?
Do your
Yeah.
do your face.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't do the face. You said the
I'm gonna try and find a clip of the face he's trying to make and see if I can find it.
Well, I have clips of
George,
it.
George, I feel your
I have
pain.
to edit it
That was
out.
half of my day today. Buddy, I feel your pain right now.
This is pleasure. I enjoy this.
She's so happy.
She's calm and she's quiet, sleepy.
She's so good. She's
Yeah,
such a
usually every time like the wife puts my kid in my hand, she's like, ah! And I'm like, what do I do with this? Like, what do you?
It's broken. Take it back. It's
She only
broken.
wants you. Quit giving her to me. Like when she's freaking out, she only wants you. You only give her to me when she's happy. Capiche? We on that same page? Stop giving her to me when she's screaming.
I'm shocked nobody asked when we're getting married.
Yeah, I don't think.
We don't care.
Thank you.
Able to sing at the wedding.
Thank you.
So I'll take
Yeah.
that.
Do you want to tell them our marriage plans?
We don't have any.
There you go.
Manny.
George has dreams of being married by the age of 40. And how old are you now?
37.
And I have dreams of never being married. How old am I?
42.
Unless it's to George.
I had to say that. The mic isn't muted.
Oh, I do want to mention, in the first 30 days of us dating or meeting or whatever, I did tell him, I was like, if you don't have intentions of ever getting married in general, just take me back to my car and we'll end it now. He stops the car and he's like, get out.
In the middle of the road. I literally stopped the car. George,
we were in the middle of nowhere in farmland.
We were in Holmes County where we took you
where
today.
Ubers don't even exist.
Yeah, there's no Ubers. She said it, and I stopped the car, and I went, "Get out!
Get out!
Get out now!"
There's a carriage every 20 minutes, though.
Yeah.
So.
Never got out.
The officer should probably look at me thinking I'm Asian. We don't like yo kind around here.
Yeah. Well, since Jeremy was raised in Amish country,
I grew up Amish.
He grew up Amish.
I know these streets better than the horses.
Oh, man.
Your horse ain't got nothing on me. Dolphin.
Nothing on me.
Oh.
Dolphin, raccoon.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember. You didn't get out. So she's still with me. It's her terminology. She comes up with a lot of things, a lot of the cliches that we say she comes up with. And because she's just hilarious. She literally is hilarious. And you don't get to see in the videos how funny she is, because when the camera's on, and she's more comfortable now. So the deal is, when we film, I talk the majority of the time so that she doesn't have to fill that dead air. And that was part of our deal when we actually decided to do YouTube together. And so she grows every day, being more comfortable being on the camera. And she did it all today. She went to an auction, but she always says we've been inseparable, and there's a lot of truth to that. Even when we couldn't stand each other,
we still talk to each other every day.
You still can't stay away from each other. Yeah.
Dolphin times 100. Manny.
I was thinking about the truck in front of your dad's house, but oh my goodness.
I just want to know who's gonna tuck Josh in tonight.
Manny, come back.
What happened to the Grimes Spines logo?
The scotch tape fell off.
The truth.
He's only at 10,000 subs. He doesn't have nice shirts yet.
Aren't those the most comfortable hoodies?
They are the most comfortable hoodies. Like, I love wearing it. I'm just like, but I'm like,
I mean,
oh, I have to wash it at some point.
I wouldn't know.
Have you rocked your Fun Employed t-shirt yet?
Yeah, I usually it's that one and then the one I made, and then but those are the only shirts I really wear anymore. People are probably thinking like I just, I'm on your YouTube channel now. I've given up on Suburban Beard. I'm just Fun Employed with What the Hales.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, I think my last 3 videos, all I'm wearing is What the Hales t-shirts and Fun Employed shirts. My entire clothing collection is provided by the Hales.
It's good branding. It's good branding.
Right? Baby. Let's do some reselling.
Oh, man.
That's the tattoo I need. Baby. Dolphin.
Baby, dolphin. Is that
What?
he said? He threw some dolphins in there.
So, who hogs the covers at night?
Manny.
Who votes that George should actually edit out that clip from this live and put that as a video on his channel?
I'll do it for you, George. Don't worry.
Like Jordan did when he fell asleep. Hey, let me say something. If George is not fully initiated into the bad boys of reselling yet, you guys are all fools. He's the one that should be initiating you guys now.
Oh my gosh. So Jordan, the first video I've ever watched on your channel was the montage that you created of you falling asleep.
Yeah, I made that.
Oh, did
Yeah, Josh made that. Yeah.
I had to, though.
Everyone's like, yo, I would totally go in and edit that out of the live. And I was like, why would I edit that out? Who cares?
And Josh also made a montage of audio clips of Jordan. That one was
That may never be on YouTube.
Facebook Messenger. That's never, ever, ever, ever going to be on YouTube.
But I will share it with you guys because it's pretty much my most amazing work of art. It took like 7 hours of editing to get all the dolphins.
3-minute video.
It's hilarious.
It's 7 hours for like a 30-second video. It was, yeah.
Well, start George's montage now.
Right? Yeah. We'll build up to it. I don't know if I have that many dolphin sound effects.
Oh man.
Oh,
Me.
man.
Manny.
Damn raccoons.
This is why we don't have nice things.
Yeah.
Baby.
Baby.
Fall asleep on
He's
me.
crying.
It's like I tell everyone, it's the dolphin white people ruin everything. Every time. All right. I'm tired. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Wait, I want one more question. I have a question.
Oscar's got one more question.
Do it, Oscar.
Hey, so who hogs the covers at night?
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
We can't answer that.
They don't.
Houses.
We wouldn't know.
I can tell you that I sleep with almost no covers because I'm burning up all the time. So I don't even, like people have that false security of a sheet on them. Like somehow it's going to save them from a monster or a thief that breaks in. I don't even use the false security sheet. I'm burning up all the time. So I'm not a cover stealer. If I had an opportunity to steal covers, I wouldn't steal them because I never use them.
I don't know. Like when I wake up in the morning, I like to sleep on the left side of the bed. When I wake up in the morning, the right side of the bed is still made. So I'm not a cover stealer. Like if someone was sleeping next to me, wouldn't the covers be all jumbled up or like on the left side of the bed? If the right side of the bed is still made when I wake up?
I'm not sure I followed what you were saying, but I'm just
If
going
I
to
was
agree.
if I was
I'm
a
going to agree
if I
because I
was
don't
a-
like to argue. I'm just going to agree.
It's not an argument, remember?
What?
Did you just...
But I want to agree with Jeremy there, though. Dude, I burn up all the time.
Are you a furnace?
Yeah,
I'm
a furnace.
He doesn't even wear clothes.
Yeah, I'm only wearing a t-shirt right now.
That's why we weren't allowed to go garage sailing.
Yeah.
So
I'm
basically,
not allowed in Walmart.
if you did share a bed with somebody, then you would still have all the covers.
It would be equal.
Well, maybe someday before you're 40.
Because if the right side is still made.
If you marry me, you can kiss me, and then I'll just let you have all the covers, and we can go from there.
She'll probably make you sleep on a cot at the foot of the bed.
I like to sleep under the bed.
Where do you live?
We'll
do you
see
I like
what
sleeping
bunk
on the
bed you get the top bunk.
Yeah. Now we're talking. If we get married, can we get bunk beds and I
Sure.
get the top?
Sure.
So much room for activities.
So much room for activities.
It's almost Christmas time, so it's so much room for nativities.
Oh, through her head.
You
through
just hit my head.
Through her head. Right.
Awesome. All right, guys. Let's wrap this up.
It's been almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's amazing. The time has went flying by for sure.
I thought we were rapping. But we are.
Who's beatboxing right now?
Lay the beat
I
down.
feel like Jeremy needs to sing a song though.
I just want the male song. It's the only song I ever care
Yeah,
about.
I feel like Jeremy needs to sing a song before we head out.
One male song.
As we're closing, Jeremy sings a song, and then we'll end it on that note.
Technically, I mean, I got mail when I get back home.
James, yes, there is plenty more to come of Unit 13 from both channels, I believe.
There's about 2 more months of Unit 13. The male song. I think it goes like this. We got Manny.
Oh, we found a harmonica recently.